Hi, I'm Nina. We're doing a little thrift with me today. But before we get into the thrift and go see what they have for us, 1, like this video if you end up liking it. 2, if you're not subscribed, please subscribe so I can see you next time. And 3, if you want to see my day-to-day outfits, I try to put them over on my Instagram stories almost every day, so you should go check them out. And yeah, but now let's get into the thrift with me. So I want to find fall staples, like 90s minimal, just like staple pieces. I really want to find a trench, like a big trench that I can just put over anything. Also like a short wool coat or like a lighter weight, like casual kind of wool coat. Anything that feels like old school prep related. So like chore coat, barn coat, like waxed coats, anything like that. Also even like Carhartt workwear kind of jackets I'm really into right now. Lace up boots, just kind of tapping into some little fall trends. And yeah, let's just go see what we can find. I'm really excited. Also sweaters, like especially blue and brown sweaters, and just like good layering pieces. So let's go see what the thrift has. So starting in the jackets, the first thing I saw was this incredible suede trench with, I don't know if it was faux or real fur like lining. It almost looked like real fur, but the finish on the suede was like very kind of worn, distressed, only $13. And this was just so cool, especially for this fall where I feel like this silhouette is very 90s and we've been seeing so much suede and just like the most beautiful brown color. Next, this classic trench from London Fog. It had a lining that was removable and it's very classic. The one thing that threw me off was it had shoulder pads, which I am not looking for in a trench, so I did have to leave this one behind. Now this little varsity jacket is incredible. It's from 1992. It's just like a half zip, which I haven't seen before. Little vintage softball varsity jacket, number 17 embroidered for Nicole, and the team was the Lucky Ladies. Like, it was just so cute. I love the color. I love the little patches. And I'm just such a sucker for like the vintage embroidery and all that. Next, this little red wool coat. I've been seeing so many of these wool coats at the thrift that just aren't quite what I'm looking for. This one was a little too fitted. I was looking at the seams on the back and you can see how they kind of start to go in at the waist. And that's how I knew it wasn't going to give the boxy fit that I wanted. This little blazer with the notch collar is so good. I think it was vintage 90s or 2000s. I really like this kind of jacket with the little collar. Feels very 90s, just like very sleek, and is a perfect little layer for like going into the office or going out. I also like the idea of wearing this kind of jacket just like as a top zipped all the way up. I think that can look really cool. Right, next, this little quilted jacket, because I've been really into a quilted jacket, especially with a little stand collar, like that one from Swear or Swore. I don't know how you pronounce it. I think it's French. But this had a very similar vibe. This was a little bit more fitted, but it also reminded me of the jacket that Julia Roberts' character in Notting Hill wears, and I love that little jacket, so I had to grab this. Next, I popped into the bags, and this one was so cool. It was like a faux python kind of texture with these really fun studs and a bamboo handle. The overall shape of it was so awesome, and I was really into it, but I don't need another like white leather bag. I just don't feel super drawn to white leather bags. I'm not sure why. Like if this had been in black or brown or green or even like a navy, I would have had to grab it. But the white just, again, it just threw me off. Next, this little brown crochet crossbody bag is so cute. Has a little bow drawstring detail. It's almost like a mini bucket bag. And I love the idea of wearing this as just like a little phone, keys, wallet bag, crossbody. I just think it's so cute, and I'm really into like a vertical crossbody kind of shape. Now popping into the sweaters, this little Old Navy fleeced, vintage Old Navy, which I am such a sucker for, just was so cozy. The fleece was so soft. It's red, which is my favorite color, and I love a red and navy combo with the classic block print, just like such a perfect cozy fall sweatshirt. Now in the men's sweaters, I found this black little mock neck oversized sweater. The material was like a little bit pilled and a little bit worn, so I did have to leave it behind, but I had my eye out for a nice like oversized kind of flowy black sweater. Now another one, this one is J. Crew. I think it's more modern from the tag. kind of like a textured navy, 100% wool, but this was also pretty pilly and worn. And it seemed like it was going to be a little bit smaller than what I'm looking for right now. Now popping into the shoes. These boots were so cool with the buckle detail on top. The heel is a little bit narrower than what I usually go for, but like that buckle detail just feels so unique that it's really worth it. They're vintage Franco Sarda, which I love, but they were a size 10 and the inside was starting to disintegrate. Scanning through the rest of the shoes, I honed in on these loafers, which had such a cool toe, but the wedge threw me off. Again, all these pieces, there'll be these details that are awesome, but then they'll have something that just isn't quite right. And that's kind of what happened with me in the shoes again. These vintage Joan and David, or circa Joan and David, little driving moccasins, because I've been looking for driving moccasins. These ones were a little bit different because they had the contrast stitch and this little lock like detail, which I think is just a really fun way of doing a closure on a loafer, a little bit different than what we normally see. Then these, another pair of circa Joan and David. I think it must be from the same person because they're the same size with a really fun big buckle detail, also super cute. And now these red satin like Mary Jane or Dorsey heels, I'm not sure again how you pronounce that, had the perfect shape. Like everything about these was so good. They were too small, not my size, but they are so beautiful. The toe is like perfectly round and just it's so cute, and I love that the heel isn't too high. I just like am obsessed with the silhouette of these shoes. Now in the put back rack, I found a Reformation striped t-shirt that had like a little bit of wear, but otherwise was in perfect condition. Super cute little brown and white stripes, super soft material, so I had to grab it. Now going into the pants, we've been all over the place a little bit. These were new with tags, little express like kick flare pants, which I have really been drawn to again recently. I think it's evolving from being into capris, but the kick flare just really works for me, especially with like a taller boot kind of coming out of it. I think is so cute for this fall. Now another pair of capris, but these are like a faux suede kind of wide leg silhouette. And this is something else that I just envision with like a mid-calf or knee-high like fitted heeled boot would be so cool. I just think that is going to be such a cool styling detail that we see a lot this fall. Now another pair of capris. These had a really cute little baby blue embroidery in the bottom. They feel very Y2K to me. They're like a mid-rise kind of fit, and the embroidery was just like so precious. I also feel like, again, pops of blue are going to be coming out, and this is a perfect example of one. It looked like it was so well done. They're the perfect, like, slightly flared out at the bottom silhouette for a capri, and I just love them. Now, these were, I think, like Anthropologie's version of doing the Jessie Calm sailor pants, but in black, and they feel a little bit 70s, and I've been very drawn to 70s recently, and so these I was really thinking about. They have the patch pockets in front that's super cute, and then right after looking at these, I found these, same exact pant, in a navy corduroy. I did not take these home, and now I'm really regretting it looking back because I feel like this would have been so cute for this fall. I have just been really wanting a pair of corduroy pants, and they were so soft and just such a sweet little like hint of 70s, but something a little bit different, and I really wish I had grabbed these now. All right, now these pinstriped like charcoal gray trousers, J. Crew, which I have such a weakness for. They're like a lower rise, perfect wide leg. They didn't even have much of like a boot cut, maybe the slightest bit, but they were mostly like a straight, loose, wide leg. I feel like this is the silhouette of trouser that everybody is looking for right now. And they were so good. They were a wool blend, but I have a pair of trousers that are almost identical to this, that are vintage Gap, that are brown. So I did leave these J. Crew on behind, but they're so good. The color is perfect, and the silhouette is incredible. Okay, now this little orange Arizona top, I don't know what it was about it. I think it's the plaid, and the fabric was so cute to me. It reminds me of some of the old Paloma wool shirts that they did a few years back. It feels a little bit Western, and I feel like Western and like boho and all of that stuff is like coming back in right now, and so this feels like it could kind of just like slot in there. Now this is probably the best thing that I found. Incredible. Asymmetric hem, super slinky, stretchy fabric. It was put in the skirts, but I'm like 99% sure this was a strapless dress. Like you can tell from kind of how round the neckline is. Vintage tag. The brand was like chocolate or chocolate, and it's just incredible. It's such a beautiful 90s minimal kind of vibe. It has the asymmetric silhouette to make it feel unique and a little bit interesting, but it's just so simple and just such an incredible piece. I feel like these are the pieces that I dream about finding at the thrift. It did have some wear to the fabric. There was quite a bit of pilling and like a couple tears, but it was just such a good dress. I love it. Now this dead stock vintage Star City Stretch, I think is the brand. Little midi skirt, so cute. It has a micro lace hem, and the pattern on it I think is just so fun. The like circle checkerboard kind of thing. I feel like Reformation put out some skirts over the past couple years using similar patterns. It feels, I don't know, a little bit 60s or something to me, and I just think it's really sweet. Now this maxi skirt really reminded me of Realization Par. I feel like this dark with the floral and the bias cut is just like something that they would be putting out there. Such a perfect silhouette and just a really beautiful skirt. Now hopping into the dresses, this I think is a true vintage like 60s or 70s dress. It looks like it was handmade. There's no tag or anything like that. It has these little flutter sleeves and the fabric is just incredible. It's so beautiful. And then this was the last thing I found, this little black dress, originally from French Connection. It is so close to being exactly what I want, but the neckline is too, like, has a little divot in the middle, and I wish it just went straight across to be like a true square neckline. But alas, so I did have to leave this behind, but now let's head home and I'll show you what I ended up getting. Hi, back from the thrift. It's been a little bit. I didn't end up buying anything, so there's no real haul. I've just been trying to be extra selective recently with what I'm bringing into my closet, making sure there's really a gap in my wardrobe and that I'm not gonna wanna reach for something I already own over like something new that I'm getting. So I didn't bring anything home, but I just wanted to hop on and say thank you so much for watching. Thank you for being here. If you like this, give it a thumbs up. If you wanna subscribe, I would really love to have you here. And if you want to see my day-to-day outfits, go check out my Instagram. I try to put on my story almost every day. Had some personal family stuff going on recently, so I haven't been super on it, but going forward, I'll be back on there regularly again. And thank you so much. I'll see you next time. Bye.